And now, please, can I invite onto the stage Esa Kokkonen and Chiara Cortiana, because we are going to shift now nicely into our roundup and conclusions. So please join me on the stage here. Let me please introduce our speakers here. We have Esa Kokkonen, who is from Policy Area Innovation. Please, Esa, take a seat. From the EU Strategy for the Baltic Sea Region and the Baltic Institute of Finland. So obviously bringing a Baltic Sea macro-regional strategy perspective to our Alpine discussion. Very valuable. And of course, thank you very much too to Chiara Cortiana, who is a youth councillor with the EU strategy for the Alpine territory. I want to give each of you 5 minutes each. I'm afraid I cannot give you more than that because I've been informed we're getting kicked out at 6:30. So we still have some final roundups to do. So please, without any further ado, Esa, over to you.
Thank you, Rosen, and thank you for the invitation for EUSALP and the AG5. And you did have a chance to give greetings and reflections from another macro region strategy, Baltic Sea region. So I'm Esa Kokkonen, main coordinator of policy innovation of the EU strategy for the Baltic Sea region. And for us, digitalization has been a key priority from the beginning. Now we have just updated our action plan this year, and again, strengthening our focus on digitalization. We have another coordinator, Estonian Ministry of Economics and Communications, also representing this Estonian success story of digitalization, especially leading this digital topic in our policy area. So of course, all these issues mentioned here are important for us. So for us, it's very much the whole innovation cooperation is about tackling our common territorial challenges with innovative solutions, and also in digitalization. So we are using digitalization in Baltic Sea cooperation in addressing our global challenges, in maritime challenges, climate challenges, demographic challenges, economic challenges, data, connectivity, AI, bridging digital divides. We are very rural region, sparsely populated region, a lot of rural regions, a lot of medieval gaps. We need to provide more equal access to digital infrastructure, enhance skills, and to test and develop interoperable cross-border services. And so a lot of synergies with of course, with Alpine region, what was discussed here, a lot of cooperation opportunities. So we want to increasingly reach out to other macro regions, Alpine region, to learn from you, connect, develop joint projects. We are very happy that we already had a one very easy, the Smart Era, one of the PG project here. It's a cross macro regional project where the piloting also happens in all 4 macro regions, and with the digital topics higher in the agenda. In Baltic Sea region, we had this Estonian initiative of real-time economy that is a kind of a result and initiative of the policy area innovation, especially very interesting projects implemented on which are related to the project pitch here. Recent one, ESG, the Enterprise Sustainable Governance tool, online tool to help companies in sustainability reporting, a sandbox type of activity. We have one major SIF project on electronic freight transport information system led by our Estonian coordinator, and that is Mark Era as an example. But in general, and between macro regions, we have a very unique common context and a place-based context to be utilized in digital development, digital innovations. And we have common challenges, demographic challenges, brain drain, and rural regions losing population, digital gaps, the climate challenges. And then we have huge asset in our place-based challenges and in our natural resources, like was mentioned here earlier, sort of mountain-related data, mountains in Alpine region as a data source. We are maritime region. There's so much data. We in collaborating and researching and coordinating a maritime issue, maritime transport, maritime safety, maritime protection since 70s in the Baltic Sea region. So much data we are producing all the time. Let's use our own data. Let's teach the AI to know our data and to help us in developing targeted, specific digital solutions for our regions. Let just count on American big tech. This is very much about the sovereignty issue as well. And I think the macro-regional strategies have a lot to offer here. We have similar than a place-based approach, similar challenges, and we are also close to citizens. A lot of initiatives and actions are very close to the. They focus on smart municipalities, smart cities, and so we can also have good platforms for human-centric, safe, ethical AI and digital solutions. And the projects presented here are great examples of the potential topics for our future collaboration between the Baltics and the Alpine and other macro regions. So let's join forces in Horizon like we have done already in Smart Era. Let's do the same. It's perfectly available for us all the time to collaborate and develop and use our data together, pool our resources, pool our digital infrastructures and test specs. And of course, this as we have this rural and remote region challenges, that's a clear potential common topic like the project Smart Community or Smart Era have been already focusing on. Then the digital infrastructures, connectivity, big issues here in QCM approach is already the submarine links and related very also big topic for the Baltic Sea region. And in Apollo approach, very interesting, this kind of digitalization of corporate welfare. We have a similar project, and it's a distance lab project, that's Finnish project in the Baltic Sea region. Just to start with exchange between Apollo and our distance lab projects, very similar approaches. And then AI regulatory sandboxes, we are currently elaborating on that how we can in the Baltic Sea context, for example, focusing on maritime topics to really use our proximity and use our common challenges in AI.
Esa, last minute. Yeah.
Yes, and if it alike goes to then smart cities. Smart cities is a very popular topic, of course, everywhere in digitalization in Europe, and for especially how we then use this also the urban challenges, climate like in Turkey case, and use it as a source for innovative solutions and somehow develop together our smart city ecosystems and help cities to open their data, open their challenges for the businesses and ecosystems. But why do you do it city by city? Like in your case, you are doing it cross-border, but we can do it even in a wider context between the macro regions. So of course, this is happening a lot already in European smart city collaboration. But there's a certain assets that the macro regions bring to this table, and let's use it together.
Fantastic.
And thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Esa. Thank you. Thank you so much for drawing those parallels in 5 minutes across the two macro regional strategies and beyond. Not an easy job to do, but thank you. That was excellent. Thank you so much. Chiara, 5 minutes. See, over to you now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Alison. So I'm actually really glad that to close this conference, you asked for the advice of young people. I like to see as a sort of endeavor, as a sort of an act of trust on us and on the value that our idea can actually bring to you and what our contribution can be. So what I will definitely take away from this conference is that all the topics that have been discussed, from quantum technology that actually I didn't know much about it before, it's public value in AI data, infrastructure, digital skill, are, although they might not be at the top at the top of regional digital priority, are instead very much, for me, are very fundamental to build an alpine area that are stronger, more resilient, and also more attractive to citizens. So it also showed that how European funding has proven generally useful in supporting digital infrastructure and services that keep community alive. It was really, really interesting to hear from those projects and what they actually do for the territories. So I actually want to go back to one concept that was with some other people some of the speakers wrote into this session that is a great and the actual topic of living up, because it was very current topic also in the youth council, at least in the thematic group I was mostly working on. The question where like, do young people wants to live and settle in the mountains? How can holidays can make mountains area attractive to them? And I know that the answer is not easy, but I truly believe that the future of the Alps it also depends on the capacity to attract new residents to keep their own, but with a specific view on young people. So when I was doing some research and I for prepare this short intervention, and I came across this study by Erwan Kana, and it is titled "Being Young in an Mountain Area." Although the survey they were doing was more was covering not only the Alpine area, it was generally on Europe. It confirms something that we already sense among our discussion in the Youth Council. So the result of this survey about brain drain was that mobility and education account for most of the reason why young people did not. And also many young people reported that they left mountains because they could not find a job, a work that matches their studies, as especially among those that were living in regions, areas that really rely on tourism. So what's those scientists tell us is that many young people steer with the app not because they want to leave the territory, but because they are looking for opportunity elsewhere. And for me, digitalization can really be a need to contrast that. We have seen, for example, how remote working really managed to bring some people, some young families to go and consider reading media houses because they had the opportunity to do that through job. But another topic that I think digitalization can really help is the topic of education. So we in September last year with some other youth council, we started developing this proposal of an initiative that is called State of Affairs Global, because we discovered that there are actually opportunities to stay out and have a high level of studies from connected campuses and make brace together in some remote territories from secondary school to some university. This is also possible through digitalization and able to do, right? So our idea it is still a work in progress, but it's basically try to find all these good practices, make them available for stakeholders, but also trying to connect with the students. So we were thinking of starting with some specific geographical area. We were thinking about France, and to show them and to make them hear from who works on those type of digital educational opportunity, that it is also a possibility to stay in the Alps and at a quality education. So to conclude, because I think I'm also reaching the end of my 5 years. I want to go back to another concept that was said before that I retyped. That is basically the importance that I think it's what this week they showed about macro-regional sclerosis in general, and the result is the fact that they bring together a level of governance that really can connect the thematics to the main COVID territories. So and that is really what's future ready at the region looks like for me. So some politics that is built by challenges that the rural region is facing, but at the same time keep into account the needs of the people in Niger. And this is possible through this multilateral governance approach, but also intergenerational and the fact that each macro-regional strategies has now a new council or some youth structure it really showed his willingness to be open also to my television.
Thank you. These are very positive, compelling, progressive words, which is exactly what we need to end our conference with. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. So both of our thank you very much indeed. We're coming to the very, very end, and I would ask now, could we please see the results of the second Slido? Dun dun dun. Oh, we only had 8 people. Oh, well, okay. From those 8 people, it's quite clear we've got digital transformation of rural and mountain territories. But to be fair, that's also part of these two things as well, isn't it? They're all very connected. Very, very interesting. Oh, some people are feeling the pressure now of having to contribute. We'll leave that up and we'll see if we get any change to that. Very, very interesting indeed. It keeps going. Okay, maybe this is going to change. It's going to prove me wrong. I'm going to very, very quickly, before I hand over to Carmel, I'm going to do a very brave thing because I'm going to round up with a couple of points that does not at all capture the richness of the conversation today, which was incredibly rich. We talked about digital tech as an enabler in responding to demographic decline, climate adaptation, public service delivery, economic development, much more generally. But it has to have the right conditions in place to deliver this. Skills, infrastructure, coordination and sequencing of actions and investments, especially across the Alpine border. The bundling of finance and projects that came up, a really important idea. And this notion that a place-based approach must prevail. It must continue. Digital's impact also in strengthening the Alps' sustainability, resilience and attractiveness. There remains untapped potential in the Alps digital agenda, but we've heard today this potential is massive. It's really significant, and we have to unleash it through these coordinated efforts, politically, from a policy perspective, business, research and citizen communities. We also heard today about shifting into this new governance architecture of the post-27 period, and the really important element there of combining a new governance model with this bottom-up approach that is absolutely in the DNA of the Alpine territory and, of course, the digital agenda. We've had an impressive range of project work that we've heard about, unique testing conditions, reinforcing support for digital embedding in communities, designing actions in highly diverse settings within the Alpine area. So a great deal that we heard of from projects. The Alp territory is unique. That has come through absolutely fundamentally clear. The mountains are back, it was said. This is about preserving, we heard, culture. It's about preserving traditions, but with a progressive digital outlook. So I want to finish by saying an enormous thank you to all of the speakers, to our audience, of course, and last but not least, to our AG5 event organisers who have worked absolutely relentlessly. And that man behind us up here, who is behind it all. In the planning of this conference, it demonstrates, I think, the richness and the value of the digital agenda. Thank you for having me as your moderator. And now I want to hand you over to Carlo for final word. Carlo, over to you.
So thank you very much. We are at the end of this, for sure, intense, fruitful, inspiring edition of Digital Alps Conference. We are very glad to be here in Brussels and do the exchanges. Thanks you for the collaboration and the ability for the European Commission representative that I think we can strengthen also the collaboration in the future. It wants to play to have exchanges with the added Barbara strategy, in particular with the Baltic Sea strategies. I would say enthusiastic and concrete contribution from the Youth Council. It was very appreciated. And a big thanks to all of you that contributed to the AG5 family and this work. Of course, my final word was again to be to all the people that may be possible. So starting, of course, from Alison, great guy to put to be what so you deserve a great applause from us after that country. And it'll be very fit, but also all the focal point member from EG5 already mentioned the ratio and our colleagues from the Brussels office, or the, I will say, all the USALP technical structure that are always behind us and supporting us, all the digital stuff also solving some practical problem, and all the technique for technicians from the square. And so thank you very much. Do two very brief invitation. The one is to take part to the USALP Annual Forum on the 21st and 22nd of October in Lindau. The second one, of course, to be part of next year Digital Alps Conference France. We don't know where the date, but you are all invited. And now to final concrete messages. The first one is, if you had something in the wardrobe, rush to take it because they have to close. And the second one, Bavarian presidency invite all of us to continue the exchanges tonight, and at Bavarian venue in front of the European Parliament, and so at 7:30, and we all need to there to continue these exchanges. So thank you very much, and see you soon. Continue the work with the kitchen factory. Thank you very much.